Bleacher Report gang, what is up? I'm Kurt Benkert, and we are back with another Monday morning quarterback, and we've got a lot to talk about. Per usual, and the playoff picture is heating up, and I think the script writers really got in their bag this time around. We have so many games this week that will be basically coming down to the wire on who's going to get in the playoffs, who's going to win the division, and there's a lot of seeding at stake. We have the MVP race heating up. The Packers, they lost, but Malik Willis looked like the truth. Jordan Love coming off a concussion. We're going to talk a little bit about that there. Then we're going to talk Maxx Crosby, who seems to be disgruntled and has now been put on IR to not play the rest of the season on a tank fest over there with the Raiders. And then we've got Derrick Henry getting a career high in touches at the age of, 31, I believe? He's up there. Most career carries, crazy. And then Josh Allen, we're going to break down a play that he had in the game where they lost to the Eagles that they also could have won if he had just hit the layup on the 2-point conversion. But going to give you guys a second to get in here, get this notification going out to everybody, and we're going to get into the action because we have a lot to talk about. And first things first, I do want to talk about who's in. I want to talk about who is out. I want to talk about the seeding, and let's get to this little playoff bracket. All right. So first things first, when we're looking at it, guys, we have the Seahawks as the 1 seed. We're going to start with the left. Seahawks as the 1 seed, Niners as the 5 seed. However, if the Niners win this week, the Niners will be the 1 seed, guys. And the Seahawks will drop all the way down to the 5 seed, presumably. However, if the Rams win, the Rams could also flip and take the 5 and the Seahawks go to the 6. So we've got a lot of moving parts here, guys, a ton. We have the Bears in. Everybody right now is pretty much in, by the way, except for the Panthers. If the Panthers lose to the Bucs are in. If the Bucs lose, the Panthers are in. And they will lock up the 4th seed because we know the divisional winners get the 4th seed. Seeds 1 through 4, no matter what the record is. Sports Watcher, what up? Glad you are here. Now, we've got to flip the script. We've got to go to the AFC because the AFC also is in a very interesting position here. Now, the Broncos, okay, guys? The Broncos are currently the 1 seed. If the Broncos win this week against the Chargers, the Broncos, I believe, stay as the 1 seed. We got to make sure. Well, we had a Broncos. Didn't we have a Broncos? We did not have a Broncos-Patriots game this year. So when you're looking at the Broncos and the Patriots schedule, guys, the way that it breaks down with tiebreaker, it goes division first, conference second, and then I believe we go strength of schedule, okay? If New England wins and the Broncos win this week, they will both have a 5-1 division record. They will both be 9-3 in their respective conferences. But I believe the Broncos' strength of schedule puts them in a spot where they would take the 1 seed if both win. So keep that in mind. Also, let's talk about it. Texans, right now, Texans are a unit. I will not lie to you. The Texans are a unit. They are in. All of these teams are in except for the Steelers. If the Steelers win, the Steelers are in. If the Steelers lose, the Steelers do not get in. However, if the Steelers tie to the Ravens, the Steelers get in. So strength of schedule, it's common opponent. Thank you for the correction. And so there's a lot going on here. And we'd have to go into the trigonometry of the Patriots and who they've beat and who they've lost to. What I will say is the Patriots lost to the Raiders in week 1. That is going to be what most likely causes the Patriots to not get the 1 seed if they both get to that spot. Because the Broncos' losses have come to the Colts, they've come to the Chargers, and the Jaguars. The Patriots, let's see, we got to make sure we got everything right here. Yeah, the Patriots did not play the Jaguars this year. So, I mean, it's, guys, you want to talk about the closest of closest number 1 seed race of all time. Denver, New England, crazy. San Francisco. With what San Francisco has been through, guys, if San Francisco wins this game against Seattle, also want to keep in mind the San Francisco game, guys, this next week, it is in San Francisco. It is not in Seattle. And we know that matters heavily because Seattle's home field advantage is crazy. So all that to say, the seeding is crazy. Right now in the NFC West, we have 13-3, 12-4, 11-4, and then the Cardinals at 3-13. Good God. But we do have the Rams tonight, okay? Let's give the Rams some due justice here, due diligence. The Rams Let's get to it real quick. Playoff. The Rams are 11-4 right now. If they beat the Falcons, they will then be 12-4. Okay, stay with me. They'll be 12-4. But they cannot take the 1 seed because even if obviously if the 49ers win, the Niners get in. There's no way for the Rams to get the 1 seed. So in my opinion, the Rams the Rams are really playing for a 5 seed at this point. So, I mean, they still need to win their games, and every seeding matters, guys. As you know, what if the Patriots and the Broncos both lose? I'm glad you said that. See, I love chat. So, if the Patriots lose and the Broncos lose, the Jaguars would have to win this week against the Titans, which we know they probably will. The Jaguars would then take the 1 seed because the Jaguars they'd beat them in divisional record. They would also beat them in conference record. So if the Broncos lose, Patriots lose, Jaguars win, Jaguars jump up, take the 1 seed. I mean, we're just talking about absolute madness, man. I'm going to catch up a chat here. Gross, thank you, my guy. Thank you for being here. Texans to the Super Bowl. How did you know I wanted to talk about the Texans today? KW, because the Texans, their defense is for real and their offense is finding their stride. I broke down some film earlier this morning from CJ Stroud, absolutely abusing that secondary of the Chargers when they were in quarters. Gross. They got out of it pretty quick after the first quarter. See chat still rolling. Bears lock up the 2. We weather the cheese. Dude, you got to think, guys, if the Bears lock up the 2 seed, and again, the Bears this week have the Lions, so it's not guaranteed. And also the Eagles have the Commanders, so Eagles play like crap lately. If the Bears get the 2 seed, that means the Packers are going back to Soldier Field, guys. Have the script writers ever been more in their bag than they are this NFL season? Incredible. I will say, too, if you guys follow me on Twitter, when I'm not memeing around, I'm making predictions, and I did predict the Bears to flip the division, the Lions to not make the playoffs, and the Packers be wild card. But alas, I move on. Patriots, Seattle in the Super Bowl, Cook. I could see it. But I will tell you right now, the 49ers, they get some pieces back on defense. Might be a Super Bowl team. Patriots are going to get exposed in the playoffs. I will tell you this in regards to the Patriots. I think the Patriots are a solid team. Obviously, they're a good team. Their schedule is butt cheeks. Absolute butt cheeks. And that's part of the reason why, when we move on to this next part, the MVP race, because I think we can move on to the MVP race now. Yeah, we might as well. Let's get into the MVP race. I don't love Drake May's MVP argument as much as I love Stafford's. Let me be very honest with you. And Matthew Stafford is still favored, minus 230. When you just look at strength of schedule, guys, like I want to go and I want to look at this Patriots team real quick. Let's look at it. The Patriots are sitting at 13-3, okay? They lost to the Raiders. They beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Steelers, okay? First 3 weeks of the season, 1-2. They have not beaten a team that has a winning record. Then they played the Panthers. They beat them. Panthers are 8-8, do not have a winning record currently. They beat the Bills 23-20. Okay, week 5, first win with against a team with a winning record. Then they beat the Saints, terrible. Titans, terrible. Browns, terrible. Falcons, terrible. Bucks, terrible. Jets, terrible. Bengals, terrible. Giants, terrible. Lost to the Bills. Ravens, pretty terrible. Jets, absolutely terrible. I mean, I'm looking at the Patriots and then you're playing against the worst Jets defense of all time, just pouring it on, running up the points because you want to have an MVP quarterback. I mean, I would do the same thing. But then you go and you look at Stafford, okay? Look at what Stafford's done. Texans win. Titans win. Eagles, they should have won that game. Their defense blew it, but Stafford played pretty well. Beat the Colts. They lost to the 49ers because Kyron Williams fumbled going in the end zone. I know I'm writing a little bit of a narrative here, okay? Just bear with me. Beat the Ravens, fine. Whooped the Jaguars, really good team. Beat the Saints, fine. Beat the Niners, beat the brakes off the Niners. Beat the Seahawks, beat the brakes off the Bucks, bad team. They lost a weird one to the Panthers, had a bunch of turnovers. That was a weird game. Everybody has a weird game. Okay? Cardinals, brakes, Lions, They did just lose to the Seahawks, but they should have won that game, in my humblest of opinions. Now they have the Falcons and Cardinals. So if you're just looking at like slightly weighted, also, I mean, 40 touchdowns to 5 interceptions is just bizarre, like absolutely bizarre. And they still got a little bit more to go. That's also Matthew Stafford pre-playing this week, right? They played a night against the Falcons. I don't know, man. Strength of schedule, who they've played, how it's being getting done. I don't want to take anything away from Drake May for having an incredible year, but I just think Stafford has been more surgical in situations that require him to be more surgical. But here we are. What seed do you think the Seahawks will be? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know how this Niners-Seahawks game is going to go next week, because although the Niners have been virtually unstoppable on offense, that Seahawks defense is an immovable force, and I don't think it's going to be that easy. And the Niners defense has been but. So, I don't know. We'll see. The Bears needed 10 extra seconds. That's the other thing. The Bears definitely could have won. They could have won for sure, and they should have, but they didn't. Jaguars all the way. I like the guys. I'm telling you right now, when I'm looking at these playoff teams, these are the teams that are jumping out to me as like I would not want to mess with. Okay, let's start here. Wouldn't want to play the Bears. Wouldn't want to play the Seahawks. Wouldn't want to play the Niners. Wouldn't want to play the Rams. Eagles look terrible. Panthers look terrible. Packers right now look terrible. Then on the flip side, wouldn't want to play the Broncos, but I think they're beatable. Patriots don't super scare me, just a little bit. Jaguars are a team I would not want to play against. Liam Cohen's been in his bag, and their defense is nasty. Steelers don't scare me. Texans. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this Texans defense, this Texans team, dark horse for the Super Bowl. Dark horse. I love the Texans. Chargers look like butt. Bills, suspect. Josh Allen not fully healthy. I don't know, man. Texans are the team that jump off the tape to me. You watch how their defense is playing. You watch how CJ Stroud is dotting it up right now. Make sure you guys follow me across all platforms before this is over, because CJ Stroud clip will be going live today. Now, Patriots are going to get exposed in the playoffs. Ricky, they might. Would not be shocked. Would not be shocked. Steelers get the dub versus the Ravens. If the Ravens just feed Derrick Henry 35 times a game, that's going to be tough. And lastly, do I think the Rams will make the Super Bowl? I think the Rams can make the Super Bowl, but they need Devontae Adams back. That is what I'm saying. Now, MVP race. We're going to talk to Copilot, because I do have a question for my old buddy Copilot here. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So I asked Copilot, let's see. According to Copilot, which second-year quarterbacks have won the MVP in the NFL? We have Dan Marino in 1984. He threw 48 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, a historic season. Do you know in 1984, guys, less games, not that type of football being played, 5,084 yards and 48 touchdowns. Dan Marino was the truth. My gosh. We have Patrick Mahomes in 2018, 50 touchdowns, 5,097 yards, one of the best sophomore seasons ever. That was Tyreek Hill going crazy doing his thing. Then we had Lamar Jackson in 2019, led the league in passing touchdowns and set quarterback rushing records. He was a unanimous, I believe, in 2019. Then we do have a little weird one here. On a technicality, Kurt Warner in 1999 was technically in his second NFL season, his first season as a starter. MVP, 1999. Thank you, Copilot. Appreciate the service here. Save that for our later segment. But let's move on. Let's talk about the Packers here. Also, shout out to Microsoft, Copilot, for making this happen. Bleacher Report, thank you for bringing me here every single Monday to talk ball with chat. Let's get it. Now, Packers. The Packers are right now in a meaningless game this week. Meaningless for seeding. However, really interesting spot here. They're going to play Jordan Love. They pay him $55 million a year to be their starting quarterback. However, I will not lie to you that Malik Willis has brought the offense alive in ways that I don't think we've seen out of Jordan Love. And I know they were playing the Ravens defense, but this Ravens defense did hold Joe Burrow to no points a couple weeks ago. 86% completion percentage, 348 yards, 3 touchdowns, didn't even finish the game. He had a shoulder injury. he's been dealing with. I think he got it tweaked a little bit. If I'm them, Malik Willis is not seeing the field this week, or Jordan Love's not seeing the field this week. We are conceding, in my opinion, because you need both of them fully healthy. Now, the Packers this week, playing against the Vikings, okay, in Minnesota. This is the type of stuff from Malik Willis, and this wasn't like a Matt Flynn situation with Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. Malik really showed that he can be a franchise quarterback. And I saw a stat. It was of quarterbacks with a minimum of 100 dropbacks this season. His EPA was the highest out of anybody in the league. Higher than Josh Allen, higher than Drake May, higher than all these guys. And there's a tweet. We saw a version of the Packers offense with Malik Willis that we won't ever see with Jordan Love. And now I love Jordan Love. I think he's a great quarterback in the league. I'm also really gracious towards mobile quarterbacks. And Malik Willis looked like the freak athlete that he was advertised as. And he looked like he had the rocket arm that we knew he had. And lastly, he's had years to develop. And he looks like he's developed. And you'll see a breakdown go live on my social media later about one of the touchdown passes that he threw where he had to dissect coverage in real time, find the right guy. The coverage changed from pre-snap to post-snap, got it in rhythm, ripped it down the middle. He's doing high-level things right now that pocket passers do. And then he's adding in the extra element as a scrambler and making plays down the field with his feet and with his arm that, I'm not going to lie to you guys, if Malik Willis was the starting quarterback for the Packers all season, I don't know if the Packers would not have a better record. Only on the physical part of Malik can do things that most quarterbacks in this league can't. And this is nothing against Jordan Love at all. Jordan Love's had an incredible season. But I think the Packers will probably end up, I don't know. I think they're going to obviously keep Jordan. That's what most teams would do. But there's definitely got to be this thought in their head of what could we get for Jordan and just roll with Malik. So, chat. Broncos will choke as always. Stafford has better receivers. May's receivers have been balling. I don't want to hear that. May's got a better defense too. Malik Willis could be a starter for a lot of teams. If we saw this version of Malik Willis, guys, for an entire season, he'd be in MVP conversations. And now I'm saying, like it's hard to do this over the course of a full season, but every single game he's played in, he's done stuff like this. Like, let's not get it twisted. 100 dropbacks is not like 20 dropbacks that just happen to go. 100 is a good body of work. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, there's definitely, I promise you right now, there's definitely going to be some conversations in that locker room, in that building, that maybe they kick the can a little bit. And that's a great time to transition into this Maxx Crosby piece, because could you imagine a world where, one, Maxx Crosby is disgruntled, which he is, and two, maybe they trade Jordan Love for Maxx Crosby. Maybe they exchange some picks or whatever. Maybe. I don't know if anybody's going to trade for Jordan Love with his contract. I don't know. I think Jordan Love at $55 million a year is like good for the Packers, but like same thing. I don't think that anybody would trade for Jared Goff. But let's look at it. Maxx Crosby trade destinations. The Packers, I think, could use him, especially with Micah Parsons coming back from an ACL. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they can get it done. Probably not. The Bears, though. I think the Bears have some capital. Maxx Crosby would be a really unfortunate sight for the NFC North to see if he ends up in Chicago. But I could see him there. They're obviously a contender, and that would make them even better than they are now. And then lastly, we know the Cowboys liked him. We know the Cowboys wanted him. We know the Cowboys got rid of Micah Parsons, and they got Quinnen Williams. I could see a world where Maxx Crosby goes to the Cowboys this offseason on a blockbuster deal, and now you have Quinnen Williams and Maxx Crosby dominating in what looks to be a suspect NFC East. I don't know. I would like to see it. I love when really, really good players get a change of scenery and then get to go chase a ring, because as far as I'm concerned, Maxx Crosby will not a day in his life chase a ring as a Raider. So let that man free. Send him to one of these 3 teams that he could elevate and maybe give them a little bit of an edge that they need to get to a Super Bowl. As a Chiefs fan, I would love for Crosby to go somewhere else. Dude, Maxx Crosby is a problem, man. Maxx Crosby is so good. He's just being wasted there. Absolutely wasted. But let's move on to the next guy. Derrick Henry. 36 carries, career high. Insanity. Won a lot of people their fantasy football championships. I have him in fantasy in my dynasty league, and it was just a week too late, is what it is. But the Ravens now find themselves in a position where if they win, they're in. And I don't know many teams that are built to stop this Ravens run game if they get it rolling like they did against the Packers, who have been a pretty solid defense all year. I'm just telling you, I think the Ravens stack up better against the Steelers. I would not be shocked to see the Steelers lose this week. I mean, they have no DK Metcalf. They have no Watt. You're going to need to see Aaron Rodgers at his absolute most perfection to win this game against the Ravens and still get help. But the way that I'm looking at it, the Ravens get in by the skin of their teeth. They might as well give Derrick Henry 35 carries a game every game and just see how far it can take them. So, Derrick Henry, great job. Ravens, love that you decided to finally use him and bring this down to the wire. Maybe you were just following the script, Harbaugh. Maybe you were just following the script. Now, chat, Crosby would end up in Buffalo. I could see Crosby in Buffalo, man. Give me Crosby somewhere that matters, dang it. And then as a Chiefs fan, I'd love for him to go. That seems to be the consensus. I could see it. I don't see, Waldstrom, I don't see the Steelers beating the Ravens, man. Not with that run defense. I mean, I think the Ravens might just have their way this week. And let's go look at it. Let's go take a little gander. Now, week 18, man, this slate is just incredible, dude. I love that week 18 is just a bunch of divisional games. It looks so good. Let's see. Ravens, it's in Pittsburgh. Tyler Huntley's been playing really well too, by the way. Let's give him some of his flowers. But man, Sunday, it's the last game of the week, Sunday Night Football. Because there's no Monday Night Football last week of the season, correct? Correct. We got our last Monday Night Football game tonight. Send Crosby to the Niners. I don't know if the Niners could afford him. He'd fit in them well there, though. Tons of dream teams would trade, for Jordan Love. There's so many QB needy teams. Maybe. I will say, in terms of contracts, what would they have? What's Malik Willis's open market contract going to look like, Is it going to be like a 33, 35 million a year? Is it going to be, he's better than Geno Smith. What is Geno Smith getting paid? Like 40 million a year? Malik Willis is way better than Geno Smith. They overpaid for him too. I don't know. Why haven't the Ravens used this run game plan all year? That is hilarious. Now, I'm friends with someone on the Ravens staff, and we had some funny conversations about that one because I wouldn't be shocked to see them rinse repeat. I'll say that. But let's get into our last segment, guys. Let's get into our last segment. We got some more ball to prepare for. But before we get any further, I want to talk about none other than Josh Allen. Where we got? Here we go. Let's get my little Josh Allen up here. Because Josh Allen, look, did not play great. Didn't have the best game for sure. But he still made some plays. And he got them down to the end here. With plays like this. And now he could have... chill out. Here we go. Let me get a little reset here. All right, so what we're going to see here out of Josh Allen is his ability to just make plays, okay? At the point in this game, I believe, where were we at? I got to remember where we were, but they needed points, right? And they weren't finding points easily. They weren't finding, big plays easily. I think this was before their first touchdown. And what I love here is that Josh Allen, better than ever in his career, has been like a risk taker, but he's playing the probabilities, okay? They haven't found plays. We're going to get, here we go. There we go. We're going to get a rush here. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, okay? We got 6 on 6. And what does this mean for Josh Allen? This means that I don't have a whole lot of time. And we're getting man-to-man coverage with a one high safety. Josh is going to have to navigate the pocket, okay? We're getting another looper. We're going to slide, and we know that we got man-to-man. The only thing we can do, or the only thing we can't do is let the safety get involved, which he's in the middle of the field. He's not going to get over to the right side of the field. And this is why I love what Josh Allen's doing here. A fade away, up and away, jump ball to his guy, but it's calculated. He's not just throwing a prayer. He's throwing a calculated prayer to a guy that has shown him the ability in practice to go up and get plays that he can trust in that situation, navigating in real time that the safety's not going to get over there, and they need big plays. It's not like he's throwing into triple coverage. That is a us or nobody ball, and he somehow comes down and makes a play. But it's just, when you see plays like this, these are not your normal, we're just throwing prayers. It's how does it happen? He's getting six-man pressure. He's getting rushed. They have not moved the ball really at all that game, and they finally get a chance for an us or nobody play that can get them into scoring range. Like, every decision is different in the NFL, and when you take your decisions, how you play the game, it's different. So that's why I look at quarterback interceptions in a different light too, because you don't know why they're making decisions. It's not just in a vacuum. It's in the context of the game. And even though they lost, that's what I like about Josh Allen, and he is becoming a really good risk taker at the right places in the right time with the right type of throw. And now, even though he missed the 2-point play that should have been a layup, I have a feeling that they're not going to be done. They're going to come back. They're going to make plays, and Josh is going to turn it on for the playoffs. Now, let's get to chat before we get out of here. Crosby's best spot is in New England. I definitely think that he would be a Vrabel type of player. I'll tell you that much. Can the Texans beat the Ravens? I'm telling you right now, the Texans can beat any team they play, especially if their offense decides to turn it on like they did in the past few weeks. Now, the Bears are a Cinderella team. Their run game is unstoppable. The Bears' offense has been playing really well. Now, their defense needs to pick it up. I will say that. Ayuk's contract's about to be up. The Ayuk situation's crazy, man. Crazy. All I'm going to say is if I was a front office, I'd be really weary about Ayuk. Just knowing what I know. Former teammate. Great player, though. Texans, Ravens, man. You talking about just an old school, hard-nosed matchup, Texans defense versus Ravens offense. I mean, each team might be hobbling out of there, whoever moves on. And that's going to be a wrap, guys. That is going to be a wrap. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys for chatting in chat, hanging out all morning. We do this every Monday all year long. I love it here. I love it. I cannot wait to break down film with you guys. Cannot wait to talk ball. We're going to have a lot of football to talk about really soon. Obviously, by the time we do this next one, we will know the playoffs. We will know what the deal is. We'll know everything. Some teams will be heading to Cancun, but not us. We'll be tuning in for Monday Morning Quarterback. Let's get it. You guys have a great week.